Well, the gospel of growth, Silicon Valley's reckless dawn. The air in late 2000s Silicon Valley was thick with ambition. It crackled with a singular, intoxicating idea: move fast and break things. This was not just a motto, it was a gospel. Young founders, flush with venture capital and boundless confidence, saw themselves as revolutionaries, not businessmen. They were not building companies, they were starting movements. Regulations, unions, established order was seen as a relic, a slow-moving dinosaur waiting for a meteor. God view. An idea becomes an empire. It started in 2010, San Francisco. The first Uber rides were in black luxury cars. It felt exclusive, a private driver for the tech elite. The app was a marvel of simplicity. You could see the cars moving on a map, little icons inching their way toward you. It felt like magic. But behind the scenes, there was something else, a tool. Insiders reportedly called it God View. It allowed employees to see the location of all cars and even track specific users. A powerful demonstration of the data Uber was collecting. A godlike perspective on the city's movements. A company that saw the world not as a community, but as a grid to be optimized. Travis Kalanick led a mission of relentless expansion. The playbook was refined and repeated. Launch without approval, subsidize heavily, burn cash to seize market share, use marketing to build loyalty. Growth was explosive, from one city to dozens to hundreds around the globe. The Kalanick Doctrine. War on all fronts. Travis Kalanick was the embodiment of Uber's confrontational soul. Not a builder in the quiet sense. He was a general. He spoke in terms of battle, fighting for every inch. Pugnacious, win at all costs. It cascaded through the organization. Principled confrontation, super pumped, always be hustlin'. To the outside, it looked like a war against taxis, a war against local regulators, a war against any competitor. Battles fought city by city, country by country. Paris protests, German licensing fights, US cease and desists that Uber often defied. Kalanick's strategy: use technology and public opinion as weapons. Launch. Get citizens hooked. Mobilize users when regulators push back. Uber is in a political campaign. The candidate is Uber. Aggression and loyalty above all else. Pressure soared. Enemies multiplied. Uber grew at unprecedented pace, and with it, rising controversy that threatened the very foundations of the empire. A culture of conflict, the rot within. By 2017, the cracks in Uber's culture began to show and spread with alarming speed. On February 19th, Susan Fowler published a blog reflecting on one very strange year at Uber. She described systemic sexism and harassment, propositioned on day one, HR dismissals. The post went viral. The match that lit the fuse. More stories emerged. Escort karaoke bar in Seoul. A manager allegedly threatening an employee with a bat. Rampant drug use at retreats. Leaked communications suggested leadership at best oblivious, at worst complicit. The scrappy narrative gave way to one where growth excused the inexcusable. Our Delete Uber trended globally. The board hired Eric Holder to investigate. A scathing report recommended sweeping reforms. Over 20 employees were fired, but the damage was done. As Uber fought public wars, it waged a secret one. In March 2017, the New York Times exposed a clandestine program, known internally as Greyball, a sophisticated tool designed to deceive authorities. It used geofencing, credit card info, and social media to spot officials. Greyball then served a ghost app, fake cars or no cars at all, a systematic program to obstruct law enforcement. Used where Uber was banned or restricted, profiling potential enforcement officers. Critics' worst fears confirmed. Uber believed it was above the law, culture of deception. Insiders said it protected drivers from entrapment and violence. Authorities saw obstruction. A federal criminal investigation followed. Beyond boardrooms and scandals, a human story unfolded, on streets worldwide. Uber built its empire on drivers' backs, promising freedom and flexibility. But drivers were independent contractors, not employees. No minimum wage, no overtime, no health care, no sick leave. They bore gas, insurance, maintenance, and depreciation. They battled the algorithm, chasing surges that evaporated, deactivated without explanation or recourse. Earnings cut in price wars with competitors like Lyft. Protests erupted. Drivers held signs. Uber's greed is killing us. Terms could change at any moment with a simple app update. For riders, convenience collided with safety. Cases of assault raised questions about vetting, often less stringent than taxis. The dream of autonomy was central to Uber's strategy. Remove drivers, remove labor costs, tame regulation. The path to profitability. Uber invested hundreds of millions, racing Google's Waymo and others. The pressure to make progress was immense. Then, the unthinkable happened. In Tempe, Arizona, the dream became a nightmare. An Uber self-driving Volvo XC90 in autonomous mode with a safety driver on board struck and killed Elaine Hertzberg, 49, crossing with her bicycle. Moments before impact, the first known pedestrian death involving a self-driving car. Shockwaves worldwide. Investigators found the system detected Hertzberg, but failed to classify her as a pedestrian. Tuned to ignore false positives, the system filtered her out. Factory emergency braking was disabled to let Uber's software run. The safety driver was streaming a TV show moments before the crash. By mid-2017, pressure on Travis Kalanick was unbearable. The Fowler blog, Grayball, the breach cover-up, a leaked driver argument, perpetual crisis. Investors now saw him as a liability. Brand damaged, talent leaving, IPO path fading. June 20, 2017. Benchmark Partners arrived at his hotel. A letter signed by 5 major investors, demanding immediate resignation. He called for support, but allies were gone. The board had turned. Late that night, Kalanick conceded. He stepped down from the $70 billion behemoth. A boardroom coup ended a tumultuous reign. The era of hyper-growth and confrontation was over. The empire remained, but the emperor was gone. After Kalanick, Uber began repair. Under new leadership, it apologized, adopted the Holder Report, and overhauled values. New safety features, including an in-app panic button. Uber went public in May 2019, pivoting from growth to profitability. The subsidies era ended. Costs cut, thousands laid off, unprofitable markets exited. Challenges persist. The labor model under global legal scrutiny. Profitability remains elusive, dependent on rides and the brutal food delivery market. The autonomy dream. Still pursued, now shadowed by a fatal past. Uber permanently altered tech and labor. A template and a warning. Growth at all costs gave way, at least partly, to accountability. Today, we ask more about culture, ethics, and sustainability. A legacy of profound contradiction. Uber changed the world, reshaped transport and work at staggering human cost.